Are you sure you're free? What else would I be doing?
Hey there guys, this is Jeff, aka 101 Bronson, bringing you the latest collection update video for the month of June 2023. Made quite a few pickups. As you guys know, I'm currently working on all the Al Pacino movie reviews for the Al Pacino retrospective review series. By the time this video will be up, I think the previous one will be the Serpico review. But I am fully committed to those videos at the moment. Those are taking up most of my time because I'm doing the research for it. I'm watching the films, obviously, writing the reviews, working with a script, writing down all my sort of views and opinions on these films. So the majority of this update, to much to no surprise, I would say, is mostly, I'd say 95% Al Pacino movie pickups and upgrades. For the collection, I think there's only 2 or 3 films that are not Pacino related. We've also picked up 2 books, 1 CD soundtrack. So I would say, without any further ado, let's jump into the collection update for June 2023. Here we go. Now here's the update for June, and first up we're on to old business. We have picked up on Blu-ray Million Dollar Baby, Clint Eastwood directed and starring, boxing drama with Hilary Swank, Morgan Freeman. Absolutely amazing film. Great film. Great acting performances by everybody. Very well directed. Great music score. I absolutely love this film. With that, I have pretty much completed my Clint Eastwood collection in terms of upgrades. I think maybe there's a few films like Flags of Our Fathers, Invictus, Iwo Jima. I'd have to upgrade those films, but I have them. I pretty much now own every Clint Eastwood film. Like I said before, counted from 1964 onwards. So from 1964's Fistful of Dollars onwards, I own pretty much all of his films now. Here's a Blu-ray for a spaghetti western with Tony Anthony called A Stranger in Town, which I had previously owned on DVD from Germany. Now this is finally the upgrade. Germany has finally put out this one and its sequel on Blu-ray. Now I've yet to pick up the sequel, but I've picked up this first one. This has always been a big favorite of mine in terms of the spaghetti westerns. This is a very simplistic, very low budget spaghetti western, but I don't know, for those reasons I really love it, because what they were able to sort of produce on this very small budget and very with a simplistic story and stuff. I don't know, just the vibe in this. I think this is like, if you want like an example of a spaghetti western other than the Sergio Leone and Corbucci films, this is really as close as you're gonna get. This is a textbook spaghetti western, and that's in the best, in the best possible way is how I mean that. It's truly a great showcase of what a spaghetti western can be, and for my for my money, this is it right here. And I still personally have this as my favorite of the stranger films. There's been a couple in that sort of little franchise in the Italian westerns. A lot of people prefer the second one, which is The Stranger Returns, but I prefer this one here, The Stranger in Town, also known as A Dollar Between the Teeth, is what this German title translates to, and I think that's also the original Italian title, so there you go. Now on to the man of the hour for this channel at the moment. Al Pacino. Now, of course, as you all know, I'm doing my Al Pacino retrospective review series, and I've been picking up a whole lot of Al Pacino upgrades, new additions to the filmography, completing the filmography, because as of yet I don't yet own every single Al Pacino film, but I am working very hard on that, as you guys will see in just a moment. Working very hard to rectify that. Now, first up, I wanted to show this. This is Al Pacino related. Obviously, he has nothing to do with the music for one of his films, but it is the La La Land release of the Giorgio Moroder Scarface Corps. Finally, after all these years, we have the full Giorgio Moroder score. Here it is right there. It's on 2 discs. Here's the original soundtrack plus additional music, but this right here, the just the score. For years, we had to do with sort of like fan edits. People, you know, fans of the film took the score and they edited it, but you still heard background noises and stuff. But now we finally have the full score by Moroder. Yeah, this is absolutely wonderful. La La Land did a fantastic job on this. There's disc 1. It's very nice when you, if I can do it right now. Just goes to show, there we go. Yeah, you sort of open this up and boom, you got a nice shot of Pacino as Tony Montana from the end. There's your second disc. And you also have a very, very nice booklet actually included. We're gonna take a quick peek at that. So, yeah, Scarface, the expanded motion picture soundtrack, Giorgio Moroder. Let's first and foremost give credit to where credit is due. There you go. And let's take a look in here. You got some nice pictures, some nice essays on Moroder's music and the music in the film. Really great. Now this is not a cheap CD to get, but as a Scarface fan that I am, I just had to have this official copy of the soundtrack, which is one of my favorite soundtracks. I mean, obviously if the film is one of my favorites, the soundtrack has got to be one of my favorite soundtracks as well, right? Hey, it's absolutely amazing. And yeah, this is limited to let's put the booklet back. We're going to be back in a second. Here we are, we put the booklet back. Now this is limited to 5,000 units, and I do believe this is already sold out, because I paid about 50 euros for this CD, a little bit more maybe even. But if you can still get your hands on a copy even for that price, I would say go for it, because I don't think you will ever get this chance again. Now the soundtrack, you can listen to this on Spotify. This is on Spotify and all the other sort of music platforms. But if you really a physical media collector like me, and especially if you're a big diehard fan of this movie, I do recommend getting this expanded soundtrack, because now you literally will have every single piece of music from that film. It's right here, even some unreleased music and stuff that wasn't in the film, an extended version of like Push It to the Limit and stuff. Yeah, a fan like me, I recommend it to fans just like me. Let's put it that way. Now moving on to some actual sort of Pacino stuff. We picked up a Pacino book. This is Al Pacino in Conversation with Lawrence Grobel, forward by Al Pacino. This is a sort of little Bible for me. This is a collection of interviews that Lawrence Grobel did with Pacino over a period of like 40 years approximately. They met in 1979 when Pacino was filming Cruising, and yeah, they really struck up a friendship over many years. And you know, Grobel has talked very intimately with Pacino on many occasions, and he's published all that in this book. So this is pretty much an interview book where you know, Grobel is asking Pacino questions. There are some, in this one you have some nice sort of private pictures of Pacino, Pacino as a kid and stuff. This really is, it's not a biography of such, but this definitely is a gold mine for a Pacino fan like me. You know, sort of in a way getting to know the man a bit more intimately. It really was a fun read, and for Pacino fans I do recommend it. Now I actually didn't know the difference because Grobel did 2 books. I picked them up both because they were actually pretty damn cheap. I also picked up this one, which this is called The Authorized Biography, Al Pacino, by Lawrence Grobel. Different cover, as you can see. However, this is pretty much the same book. See, you also have the interviews in here. I think, if you excuse the background noise, we'll wait. Hate distractions. No, I think the only difference is you don't have the pictures in here, and I think there is a different sort of ending to this book. I don't think there's like a big epilogue here. I think this one just ends after the final interview, which there is at least a sort of afterward closing thoughts in this one. So I think that's the only difference. So it really depends on what you like. They're both essentially the same books, these two. This one, as you can see, is a little bit bigger, and this one has the pictures and a more sort of rounded ending, and this is a sort of more condensed version, I guess. But both are nice to have. I mean, yeah. So yeah, I've been doing my research about the man, the myth, the legend, Al Pacino, and and this is the fun stuff where you guys, this is why you guys are here, to see the movie pickups. And yeah, we've been picking up the films. Now this is a very special sort of set. This is called Pacino and Ackers Vision. This is a box set of 4 movies, 3 movies and a documentary. And they're all passion projects for Pacino. They include Chinese Coffee, Looking for Richard, The Local Stigmatic, and the documentary is called Babylonia. Now you might be asking yourself or thinking to yourself, I never heard of these films. You might have heard Looking for Richard, because that one, Looking for Richard, got a pretty wide release, and I do also already have that on a DVD from Fox. This box set is also put out by 20th Century Fox. But you might have never heard of Chinese Coffee or The Local Stigmatic. Well, they were passion projects for Pacino that he did sort of in his off time during films. The Local Stigmatic he did in the 80s when he, after Revolution, he really had that 4-year hiatus and the flop of Revolution. In the meantime, in his downtime, he was working on this, which they're both adaptations of a stage play, which, as you guys know, Pacino first and foremost considers himself a stage actor rather than a movie actor, but obviously he's a big movie actor as well, goes without saying. So yeah, he's also dabbled in directing and doing some passion projects, and he's released them. Actually, Pacino himself authorized this release. You also get a little bit of propaganda here for that book, which came out around the same time. Al Pacino in conversation with Lawrence Grobel. So there you go. You also have propaganda for more Pacino films. There's even more to Pacino. Fox is promoting The Panic in Needle Park and Offer. And then let's actually show you the films themselves. Chinese Coffee with Jerry Orbach. Like I said, it's based on a stage play. But yeah, the Pacino collection here is authorized by Pacino in the films. They have audio commentaries, prologues, and epilogues. With interviews with Pacino and stuff. It's really fascinating, and this really allows us the chance to go into those films for the review, because I have to say I never saw The Local Stigmatic and Chinese Coffee before this, so I was really happy to get a chance to purchase this box set, which is out of print. You're gonna have to pay a little bit of money for it. I actually ended up not paying as much for it as I've seen it go for. Let's put it that way. It can go for a lot more. I got a pretty good deal on it. And here's The Local Stigmatic. But yeah, it's again, I'm doing the Pacino retrospective. These things are gonna have to be featured. And here is the Babylonia documentary, which is actually a big sort of interview with Pacino at the actor studio, where he talks about his career and his life and how he got into acting and stuff, which is really fascinating. So yeah, we got some very rare Pacino films right here. The Local Stigmatic is a very short film. I've already checked it out. That is going to be an episode for season 2 of my Pacino retrospective. But yeah, that is Al Pacino, an actor's vision. Let's give you a good shot of it. There you go. So very glossy image there. There you go. Now Pacino was very enthusiastic about plays and about Shakespeare, and he's also very enthusiastic about Oscar Wilde, and he also, similar to Looking for Richard, which was a sort of Shakespeare and Richard III documentary-esque film. He also did a Oscar Wilde sort of documentary, sort of stage adaptation, whatever, and Wild Salome. This is a Italian DVD. This was also brought out in the UK on DVD along with the companion film Salome. So there's Salome, I should say. Salome and Wild Salome. Now, Salome is, I think, the straight up sort of, adaptation of the Oscar Wilde plays, Salome. And this Wild Salome is about Pacino directing that play or being in that play. It features excerpts from that play, and also it's about Pacino's obsession with an enthusiasm for Oscar Wilde, which is a similar thing to Looking for Richard. Now, this was, fun fact, Jessica Chastain's very first sort of acting role. It was sort of Al Pacino who discovered her, which is a fun fact. And of course, she's gone on to do many wonderful things. Unfortunately, this back here is Italian. I can't read this, but I can confirm that the film has English dub, English audio. Unfortunately, you do have burnt in Italian subtitles, which is a shame, but we're gonna get to this film probably by season 4, so we still got some time to track down the other one, or maybe track down a copy of that UK release, which features both, but that goes for a lot of money. Very ridiculous, but we shall see. One film that I did get as an upgrade for very cheap, because this is a out of print Twilight Time edition from the US. It's Bobby Deerfield on Blu-ray. The 1977 Sidney Pollack directed love story drama with Al Pacino and Marte Keller. A very good film. I'm not gonna spoil my full feelings on it, because there's a review of this film upcoming very soon on the channel, but I can already say that this is a film that I do personally like, and I'm very happy and glad that I have it on Blu-ray in HD here. Yeah, like I said, I got this for a pretty good price, around 20 euros, which I was surprised, because I was under the impression that this was out of print. But it's still listed on eBay from a couple of sellers for around that same price. So if anybody would like to have this film on Blu-ray, there you go, I just gave you the tip on it. Here's a German edition for Danny Collins. Now, I did have this film on DVD, but I actually had to upgrade this one for a long time, because this is actually one of my favorite of the recent Pacino films of the last 10 years or so. I really like Danny Collins, in which Pacino plays a aging singer who gets a letter from John Lennon, and it inspires him to become to sort of change his life around for the better, because he's sort of on a downward sort of path where he's taking a lot of drugs and just not really caring about the music and stuff anymore, and the letter inspires him to change everything around. So it's a very good, heartfelt film. I've always liked it. Again, we're not going to spoil too much, because there's going to be a review for it, but yeah, the review is going to be probably in about a year or so when we get to that, because that's going to be probably in the final season. Next upgrade is for another classic, The Devil's Advocate from 1997. Keanu Reeves, Al Pacino. Al Pacino is deliciously evil in this film as the devil himself. Absolutely amazing film. Great film. Nothing left to say until the review. Once again. This one is an interesting one from 2014, German Blu-ray of The Humbling, which is also known as The Last Act, which is what this German title translates to. Film directed by Barry Levinson, based on a book in which Pacino plays an agent actor who Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it. I only watched this once in 2014 when it came out. I haven't watched it since, so this is a first time purchase for me. I never even sort of picked this film up before, but I'm gonna watch it again before the review, obviously. And yeah, you guys will know what I think about it when I do that video. So yeah, next upgrade is another essential one in my opinion, Insomnia. Great early 2000s cop thriller, which actually is a remake of a Norwegian film, which I've unfortunately never seen, but I do really love this film, with Pacino and Robin Williams, Hilary Swank, directed by Christopher Nolan. This is the German Blu-ray here once again, so yeah. And yeah, I can't believe I didn't upgrade this film until now, but I've always, for years, kept my original DVD of it. It's 1992's Scent of Woman, which finally won Al Pacino an Academy Award for his acting. Co-starring Chris O'Donnell, directed by Martin Brest, the director of Beverly Hills Cop and Midnight Run. Great film. Finally have it on Blu-ray. Hooah! And this is, I think this is the most recent review that's going to be on the channel by the time this video will get up, but it's the 4K upgrade for Serpico. Yeah, this is one of my favorite Pacino films in my top 10. I picked up this German 4K pretty cheap actually. I was like, yeah, you know what, Serpico on 4K, it's a no-brainer. It's one of my favorite Pacino films. At least this one I can talk about a little bit more because, like I said, my review of the film is up by the time this will be up. So yeah, man, I love Serpico, directed by Sidney Lumet, who's one of my favorite directors. Pacino delivers a great performance in this as Frank Serpico. This is based on a real story, a very inspiring story, I might add. It's a great film, and the 4K transfer is stunning. And yeah, I'm absolutely, you know, very stoked and excited that I have this finally on the best format at the moment, you know, that's out there, you know. So yeah, Al Pacino and Serpico. And with that was the 4K. That concludes the update for June 2023. So there you guys have it. That was the collection update for June 2023. Do hope you all enjoyed seeing that. Like I said, a lot of Al Pacino, and there will be a lot of Al Pacino content on the channel to come. I'm also trying to do this sort of thing where I'll upload a little bit of a short of something that has to do with the film that I'm gonna, you know, get on the upcoming review. Try to get some behind the scenes stuff for all the films. So for Serpico, this is for the first time that I try it. For Serpico, I've uploaded this little short of Pacino talking about how he pulled over a truck driver while working on Serpico. He was that much committed to the character. I try to do similar things for each reviews. I might not get the chance to do it for everyone because I don't think there's any video of Pacino talking about Bobby Deerfield, for example, which is a review that's coming up. But we shall see. I'm trying to sort of, in a way, make it entertaining for people to watch, and also educational, of course, right? Because, you know, that's always interesting to hear, you know, these sort of behind the scenes stories about these films. Of course, there's going to be plenty of sort of anecdotes and trivial points in the actual reviews, but I'm trying to sort of make it, you know, entertaining as I can, and upload some extra bits and stuff. So that's going to be taking up most of my time. Expect the upcoming month of July to also be Pacino heavy. We have made some progress now in the collection, but there's still a lot to go. Still some upgrades and some new additions that I really have to get. So anyway, that's it for today. Hope you're all well. Stay safe and healthy. Thanks for watching so much as always. And keep punching, and we'll see you all in the next one. Hooah! Take care.
Hooah! Hooah! Tits. Hooah.
Blind asshole.
Hooah.